Welcome back to part 2 of the tutorial on how to reconcile your unit commander's pay management report. In part 1 of the tutorial, you learned the importance of reconciling the unit commander's pay management report, how to access the report from the resource management module in RLAS, and how to use the UCPMR reconciliation checklist. In this tutorial, we will show you how to check the UCPMR for accuracy. This is the part that no one likes to do, but it does not take long if you are keeping your soldiers' pay accounts up to date. Let's use the UCPMR checklist at the end of Appendix I to reconcile your UCPMR. We will not cover every item on your UCPMR, just enough so that you get the hang of it. Before we get started, keep this in mind. Your UCPMR is only produced once a month around the 22nd through the 25th. It may not reflect changes that you processed recently. As a rule of thumb, changes that you sent to the Pay Center after the 16th of the month may not appear until the UCPMR produced at the end of the following month, so wait until the next report before taking any additional action. The first item on the UCPMR checklist tells you to compare the names of the soldiers on your UCPMR to those on your UMR. This is one way of identifying soldiers who do not have an account in personnel or in pay. The other way is to use your personnel pay mismatch report, which is also available in RLAS. Let's say that you have a soldier who transferred to the IRR. He is still listed on your UCPMR but dropped from your UMR. The checklist tells you to send a copy of the UMR and the order that separated or transferred the soldier to your pay team at the Pay Center. The pay team will remove the soldier from your unit. At this point, you would prepare a USARC Form 26-R to submit the documents to the Pay Center. The checklist then tells you to annotate action taken to remove or add the soldier. You would annotate the TL number and the date on the right side of the UCPMR as shown in this example. You must reconcile all the items on the UCPMR. Pay close attention to grade, pay entry basic date, and BAH. These sections result in the most occurrences of over or underpayments and contribute highly to audit readiness failure. To reconcile grade, you must ensure the soldier's pay grades are accurate. You do this by comparing the grade of each soldier on your UCPMR to your UMR to ensure they are accurate. The other way is to use your personnel pay mismatch report, which is also available in RLAS. Remember, for all officer promotions and all reductions, the order must be sent to the UPC for processing. As discussed before, errors in grade can cause over or underpayments. For example, an E5 with over 6 years of service is reduced in rank to E4, but the unit fails to send the reduction order to the UPC. If the soldier performs a MUTA 4, they will be paid at the E5 rank, receiving $373.04 when they are only entitled to $331.12. This is an overpayment of $41.92. Imagine how much higher this would be if the soldier performed a long tour. If a soldier's grade is incorrect in RLAS personnel, update the information in RLAS personnel. If the grade is correct in RLAS personnel but incorrect in pay, follow the corrective actions outlined on the checklist. Based on our example and utilizing the checklist, you will identify the problem. Recently reduced and grade incorrect in pay only. Then the corrective action needed. Submit one of the following: reduction order, DA Form 4187, or a DA Form 2627 for an Article 15 to the UPC. Once you have submitted the corrective actions on a TL to the UPC, you must annotate the corrective actions on the report as shown in the example. Incorrect BAH RC payments have been the USAR's largest pay issue. You must review the UCPMR to ensure each soldier has the correct dependent information for BAH. One way to do this is to compare the dependent information on the DA Form 5960 validation report from the RLAS personnel module to the codes on the UCPMR. In the example provided, Smith Thomas is married on the DA Form 5960 validation report in personnel and single on the UCPMR. Utilizing the checklist, you must identify the problem. If the soldier BAH information is incorrect on the UCPMR only, the corrective action you must take is process a DA Form 5960 in the RLAS RM module. If the soldier's BAH information on the DA Form 5960 validation report is incorrect, the corrective action you must take is verify the soldier has a current DA Form 5960 in RLAS RM module, then update the dependent data in the RLAS personnel module. Once you have submitted corrective actions in RLAS, you must annotate the corrective actions on the report as shown in the example. For additional guidance on the DA Form 5960, please watch the 3-part RLAS DA Form 5960 training on our YouTube channel. The pay entry basic date is the most common mismatched data element between RLAS personnel and pay. RLAS does not contain a report that displays the soldier's pay entry basic date, making it impossible to easily identify pay entry basic date mismatches between personnel and DJMS RC. Units must verify the soldier's pay entry basic date while conducting annual reviews of the soldier's Army Military Human Resource Record. If you receive the personnel pay mismatch report, you can utilize it to identify pay entry basic date discrepancies. Errors in pay entry basic date can cause over or under payments. For example, Sergeant First Class Greenleaf has a pay entry basic date in RLAS personnel that gives her over 12 years of service. This same soldier has a pay entry basic date on pay that gives her over 10 years of service. If the pay entry basic date is correct in personnel and the soldier performs 15 days of AT, the soldier will be paid $1,897.80 when the soldier should have been paid $2,002.35. This is an underpayment of $104.55. Utilizing the checklist, you must identify the problem. In the example, we determined the pay entry basic date was correct in personnel. Therefore, the problem is pay entry basic date incorrect in pay only. The corrective action you must take is submit USAR Form 22-R and all DD4s, DD214s, discharge orders, and other documents supporting prior military service to the UPC. Once you have submitted corrective actions, you must annotate the corrective action on the report as shown in the example. A word of caution. If a pay entry basic date discrepancy is found, do not assume the pay entry basic date is correct in RLAS personnel or in pay. The best course of action is to submit the documents listed in the checklist to the UPC. The UPC will calculate the pay entry basic date using the documents provided. Make sure you review the remaining items on the UCPMR. Submit corrective actions through RLAS or to the UPC as applicable and annotate the corrective actions on the report. Thank you for viewing Part 2 of the tutorial on how to reconcile your unit commander's pay management report. If you missed Part 1, please view it on our YouTube channel.